So today we are going to start with the series of the session on quantitative aptitude. Fine. So this is going to be the very first session. Today I will be taking in detail. I am considering this as the very first session for quantitative aptitude because I will be taking care, of the series of sessions on quant. So I want to make you comfortable from the day one itself. Hello friends, can you hear me now? Please say yes if you can hear me. Okay, fine. So this is in the series of this quantitative session, this is going to be the very first session because now I will be taking these sessions on quant. So I want to make you comfortable from the day one itself, and even you should also get acquainted with the way I will be taking the session, right. So today what I am going to do, this is going to be the very first session on the introduction of it, that is what all the major topics we will be covering, which is going to be really helpful to you as far as the quant section is concerned. Now in the class when we take many students, they are actually not comfortable with the maths. Most of the time the reason is because they weren't comfortable so far, that is I am talking about your performance in maths as far as the school was concerned, right. But friends, I would ensure that I would be starting right from the scratch, that is introducing the topic and then making one comfortable with the concepts of it, the relevant formulas if required, right, and then slowly and we will be moving towards the questions, okay, and more the questions will be practicing it, the more the concept would be getting cemented in your head, and you would really start becoming comfortable, or you will be becoming familiar with the type of questions. So the first round, that is the basics where I am taking, this is what is going to be my pure objective, that I make you comfortable, and hence it also means that I may be a bit slow while taking the session, right, I may, but as far as the topic is concerned, I will ensure that we together cover the maximum number of questions, so that we can actually bang the question if it comes from that topic. Fine. So this is what is going to be the thing. Today friends, this is the session purely for those whose it is the very first session, right, so that you can become comfortable with the topics. Fine. So let's see what is the agenda for the day. So I am going to discuss the detailed syllabus of the session, right, and the quant, right, then some tricks. So wherever possible, feasible, I will be taking one or two questions on the topic, right, and then I would be sharing with you, because after having a first hand experience, I am taking you all on the base 0, right, I am considering you all to be at the base 0, and we are starting it from today. Fine. Then I will be like discussing what should be the ideal the way, the things you should practice, and the strategy for success. Alright, fine. So let's start. Right, so we know the very first thing comes when we talk about quant is numbers, and since first standard, right, we have been studying numbers, right. We started with natural, then we went to negative numbers, then we moved to rational, irrational, and then many operations have been designed. Okay, can you tell me how many operations are there, the basic operations are there with number system? Can you people tell me how many basic operations are there with the number system? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or infinite? Tell me. How many basic operations are there with a number system? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many are there? Friends, you will have to be very interactive with me. You keep on answering it in the chat box. I will ensure that I take care of the maximum doubts of yours relevant to the discussion going on. Okay. So, answer how many basic operations are there in mathematics. Are you people listening? Okay, 4, no. No. So, there are actually just 2 operations. Oh, Ishan Jain, 5. Rashi Juneja says 4. Dhwani Raheja says 5. Dhwani plus, minus, multiplication, division, which is the 5th one you have added. Which is the 5th one you have added? Yes, basically there are only 2 operations are there, addition and subtraction. What is multiplication? It is nothing but repetitive addition. We are writing it in a short form. You know, if I write 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 for 20 times, instead of that what we do is we write 20 5s. Okay. So, basic we have just to, same is the case with the division also. So, when I say that in how many groups can 100 be divided in with each 5 elements in that. So, what we can do, I subtract from 100 5, from 95 5, from 95 and so on, or I divide 100 straight by 5 and I get 20 groups, right. So, we are having only 2. What is that? Addition and subtraction. The later ones are the representations, okay, of the repeated subtraction, division is there, and repeated addition, multiplication is there. But so friends, along in this journey, many of the things we have already studied in school time, we will be recalling that. At the same time, we are also going to, learn the applications as well. Okay, fine. So these are so when I talk about the numbers, so these are the basic concepts you should know. Fine. So let's see some tricky questions I have come up with. My video is not clear. Okay. Yeah, some error is there. Fine. Let's continue. Okay, fine. Let's continue because this is the streaming thing which is beyond my control. Fine. All right. So, fine. Answer this question. No, Rashi, it's fine. It's fine. Answer this question. Right? 6 bells ringing together and ringing at intervals of this. How many times they will ring together in 60 minutes? Vidhi, this is where we have started the series of Quant. This is what the only thing I would say. Okay, so now you decide whether you want to see this or not. Okay. Yes. What is the answer to this question? I told you, the more, be ready with the paper and pen. The more we solve together, we will really enjoy the session a lot. Khushi Beller says 31. Sure, Khushi? Malvi Thomas says 31. Good. Yes. See, if we see that, then this was a question, right, on the question, it was based on LCM. Nowhere it has been mentioned that this is a question of LCM, but yes, the 6 bells start ringing together at the interval of 4, 8, 10, 12, 15 and 20 seconds. How many times they will ring together in 60 minutes, right? So, first of all, let's see. Yes, let's see that at what interval they are going to be together. So if I take the LCM, right, then 20 and 15, right, it is going to be 60, but 8 is not divisible by 60, so I am going to take the another next multiple of 60, so 120 seconds, right, 120 seconds. So at the interval of 120 seconds, that is what, 2 minutes, okay. At the interval of every 2 minutes, all these bells are going to ring together. Now, how many minutes we are having? 60. So if I divide 60 by 2, the answer turns out to be 30. So why 31? Why the answer is 31? Because even if there are just say 2 intervals of 2, that is 4 minutes. So since they started ringing together at the beginning, so at the first slot they were together, then 2 minutes elapsed, then again they were together, and then again after the lapse of 2 minutes, right, again they are together. So even in 4 minutes they have been together for 3 times. So ideally it is going to be 30 times for the interval plus 1 when they were together initially. Very good, and hence the answer is 31. Very good. Fine. Let's have another question. Let me see how quickly you are giving me the answer. So a man is 24 years older than his son. In 2 years his age will be twice of age of his son. What is his present age? Right? What is the present age of his son? So we can very easily, we can form the equation and then we can solve it, right? So let the age of a son be x, right? So son's age is x, so father's age is going to be 24 plus x, right? In 2 years his age will be twice the age of a son. So in 2 years, so if I write x plus 2, this is going to be, okay, so let me write the father's age, right? The father's age is going to be twice the son's age, but after 2 years, right? So after 2 years it is going to be 26 plus x is equal to twice of x plus 2 and so on. You are going to solve it, right? But if we can understand the concept very well, if the things are very clear in our mind, then no need to do this. We can straightway go by the options, right? Fine. See, after it is going to be the double. So I am not going to start with the odd number, right? Because it is better I start with an even. So if I take it that the son's age is 22, so 22 plus 2 is going to be 24, right? And after in 2 years, right, 26 and it's double, so it's going to be 56, right? So we can go with the option. Can we? Very good, all of you have got the right answer. Then let's move on to the next thing then. This is going to be the area of arithmetic, right, in which we will be covering in detail the percentage, profit and loss, ratio, proportion, partnership, averages, simple interest, compound interest, mixture and allocation, right, speed, time and distance and working time. So under this banner of arithmetic, you can see that most of the topics, right, we have covered in our 8th, 9th and 10th standard. The only thing is that once we go through the concept, we will be focusing more on the word problems, right? If you are really comfortable with the word problems, it will be, if you are very comfortable in converting the word problems into equations, then this is going to be one arena where you can score maximum. And by the law of average, right, so far the maximum, the exams which we have given, right, we have seen that almost 50 to, earlier, okay, if I talk about 3 to 4 years back, then almost 60 to 70% weightage, right, used to be given to this section. Now I say that almost 50% weightage is given to arithmetic, and then in rest the other higher maths and modern maths and all those things are coming into the picture. But still, this turns out to be the base for one more section, which is data interpretation. So if you are really comfortable with these topics, you would be really comfortable with the data interpretation as well, because in that also the graphs in which the questions are going to be based on percentages, differences, and all those the concept in arithmetic will be applicable there. Okay, so this is what we have will be there. So right, so let's have one question on this. Let me see who bangs this question first. Let me see. Yes, so in the first 10 overs of a cricket game, the run rate was only 3.2. So in first 10 overs, how many we have scored the runs? 32. What should be the run rate in the remaining 40 overs to reach the target of 282 runs? So out of 282 runs, we have already scored 32. So we have to score 250 runs out of. So what will be the answer? 6.25. Right? So this is what. So see, this is today I am taking very simple questions, right? Category wise, section wise, just to make you comfortable. But at length we will be taking when each and every topic we will be covering all the variety of questions from that topic. Okay, very good. Very good. Next question. Let's see. Being the commerce student, right? Being the commerce student, selling price, profit, loss, it is assumed to be your favorite area. You should be extremely comfortable with this. So see what answer you people are giving me. Let me see. So if the selling price is doubled, the profit triples, what is the profit percent? Jenny, 32, right? Jenny, I am not getting your query, beta. Yes. So let's see how you are doing. 100, right? What is the profit percent? 100%. So how do you go about it, right? Let the selling price. So if the selling price is doubled, right, and from selling price I subtract cost price, right, what I am going to get? 3 times my profit, and profit is always going to be selling price minus cost price. You solve this, right? If you are in a position to make this thing correct, if you are in a position to make this equation in the very first go, then you are done. Okay, then you are done, right? See, this is what I have done it over here. Okay, all the steps are here. Twice the selling price minus cost price should be thrice the profit. So you should be very careful about the brackets, the way I have used it. And over here, right, selling price minus cost price is equal to CP. So 100% profit is there. So what is going to be the profit percent? Profit percent is equal to the CP. So that is there. Very good. I have really got very bright students with me. I think I will have to in the next session increase the level. But I will definitely. But once we are done with the basics, okay. We don't want to leave even a small stone unturned when we are doing basic concepts. So that's why you may find it a bit slow, but it is okay. Once we are done with the topic, we are done with it. Okay. Next question. Something related with the speed, time and distance. Right. A very typical question in most of the after 12th questions, right, or in banking or say in CMAT, right, or the state level exams. One of the most asked question, and this is a 10-second question. Yes, answer. what happened? Okay, so we all know speed is nothing but distance upon time. We all know this. So if can I say that if what is the relation between speed and time? If I increase the speed, less time would be consumed if I keep the distance constant, right? Say for example, I have to travel 200 kilometers. If I move with the speed of 25, the number of hours consumed. If I move with the speed of 50 kilometer, the number of hours consumed will be inverse, right? Now over here, what is supposed to be done? So I am using this concept. So I know that usual speed is 6/7, and since the relation is inverse, right? So the time consumed is going to be 7/6, and we know that he gets 12 minutes too late. So it is with respect to the usual time. We know what is the usual time. Usual time is t. So the difference between the time consumed and the usual time is 12 minutes, right? It means that 1/6 of the time is 12 minutes, and here we are with the answer 72 minutes, which is nothing but 1 hour and 12 minutes. Riddhi, there is a relation because the relation between the speed and time is inverse. So if I know what is the speed, because I am assuming it the distance to be constant, then only I can establish the relation. So I knew that the speed is 6/7 and speed and time are inversely related. So I inverse the ratio. Got it now? Right? So I have inverse. So don't worry, today I am just taking single questions just to sensitize the things. When I will be taking that concept, I will literally make you note all the important points, right, with respect to speed, time and distance, and then we will be solving almost 50 to 70 questions on that particular topic. This is what the target I will be coming up whenever I will be taking a new topic. Okay, fine. Shall I move ahead? Chalo, so let's see now. Okay, fine. Another tricky question where though it is a question of quant, right, you don't need any quant concept and still you can solve the question very easily. This again, ideally this is again a question of 30 seconds. It should be solved in 30 seconds. Thirty seconds are over. Still I have not received the answer. Kunal, Charu. The answer is C. Yes. Let's see how. So 20% of the votes were invalid. So we have the total number of votes at 7,500. Right. So 7,500, 10% is going to be 750. So 20%, 1,500. So I am going to subtract 1,500. So I am left with 6,000. Out of these 6,000, what was the number of valid votes the other candidate got? So the other candidate got 45% of it. And we know 50% would have been 3,000, lesser than 3,000. Right, and we have to we know that if 10% of 6,000 is 600, 5% is going to be 300. So 3,000 minus 300, 2,700 is the answer. Friends, yes, so you have to be comfortable with the percentages. You have to be comfortable with the calculation part as well. Okay, fine. So this is what we are going to learn. Okay, let's move on. So simple interest, compounded, and simple interest is so simple, right? So that's why I came up with a very simple question. Let's see how quickly you are answering this question. We all know what is simple interest, right? Simple interest is nothing but P into R into T upon 100. We all know, right? So let's get the answer. Friends sitting on this side of camera, your 10 seconds lapse for me gives me a feeling of 10 minutes. Is it really so time consuming? Obviously it is not difficult. I haven't come with the questions of that level only, but the amount of time being consumed is really high. Three people gave me three different options. Okay, let's see. So if a sum of a money triples itself in 40 years, okay, so let's start with 100. It becomes 300 in 40 years. Alright, so 100 was the principal, I made it 300. So what is the amount of interest I have earned? I have earned say 200, which is equal to, the principal was 100, this was my P, right? So principal into rate of interest I have to find, and T is the time period, 40 years upon 100. So this gets cancelled. So this is 5. Rate of interest is 5%. So now you have to review your answer. Malvi was correct. Charu messed up with the answer. Khushi Ballar 6 कहाँ से आ गया भाई? Right? Are you clear? See, so here when we are talking about triple itself in 40 years, so 100 rupees is becoming 300 rupees. It is getting tripled. So as per the rule of simple interest, which I had mentioned in the statement, not written, but as I said, the simple interest is very simple, right? Fine. Here we are the simple interest. Generally what the students do where they goof up is that instead of 200 they write at the place of simple interest 300. This is what maximum times I have observed in the class that students make this mistake. Yes or no? Yes or no? How many of you wrote 300 at the place of simple interest? No, Rashi, still the answer would be the same, because even if you take the principal as x and it triples, so it becomes 3x. So the difference is going to be 2x as a simple interest, which is nothing but x into rate of interest into 40 upon 100. So x gets cancelled, this gets cancelled, so it is going to be 20 upon 4 as this. So this gives me again 5. Right? Yes, fine. Friends, because I take logical reasoning, many of you must be watching my logical reasoning session. I take this quant as well, and I always say in maths, irrespective you apply the knowledge or the method or the criteria, if they are correct, we all together are going to land up at the same answer, or we are going to land up with the same answer. It is never going to vary. right? Fine, but this doesn't happen so in logical reasoning, because we are heavily dependent on the options given. See, I told you, right, that yes, this is the reason. In see, so now this question, you should, so okay friends, here I would like to share one tip with you people, which I always tell: make the notes in loose paper. Okay, sometimes we try to be so systematic that at the beginning, right, initially for 3-4 chapters we are so systematic, noting down all the points, then transferring it to the notes, and using blue, red, green pen, this, that, right, and after 3-4 chapters, right, we start losing it, right, and in the question, in the notebook where we are doing the practice, over there only we start making the stars and the circles. Friends, for maths, especially for maths, make it a point that when from the next session onwards, when I will be coming with the topic, the important points which I give, you note it down in a paper, and when you are practicing it, the points which you find newer or important, keep on adding to those loose paper notes. Okay, fine, so that at the end of the session you have your own notes prepared, and within 30 minutes, right, even if you just flip the pages, you will be in a position to revise the entire chapter. Why? Because you have covered all the important points over there. You will keep on adding whenever you come across in future the question of that, from that topic, and because it is written in by your own hand, your handwritten note, it would be very easy to relate and revise. So make it a point that you do it. Friends, those who are, those who have already done this topic, and if they have still made this mistake, the reason is that proper notes are not being, maintained. Okay. Jenny, I will not recommend, the diary, because, okay, because paper, it is directly related with the environment. I am really very conscious in using it. Why I will not recommend diary? Because then you won't know for a particular topic how many pages you should leave blank, right? And it is not going to be uniform. So better have the loose page.